Here's the sort of page that a new user will encounter, and it includes this search. And one thing we might search for is something like pages. Let's see what kind of pages we can find. We don't find any pages, but we do learn that we have 6 pages that we're searching here. One of those pages down here is mentioned is the How to Wiki. And so if I click that, I'll get, and it found this, by the way, because this front page was forked from this green site, and that green site was forked from the brown site. So all of a sudden, I've brought some new content into my wiki, and so if I now search for pages, I find a lot more. I'm now looking at 53 pages, and 16 of them mention something interesting. Now, as I look through here, oh, here's something interesting in the help. Oh, most of this is help information. Something about searching sites, and this is a lot of nice documentation. It says how search works, how to use it, a lot of different things, including searching for sites, and how to write. How to write content that is particularly good for searching. But let's just peek over here, and we see just a tremendous collection of like 6 different collections of sites. I particularly like this work done by my friend Michael Mahaffey, which is about patterns in the built world. And notice as I click on this, my neighborhood is expanding here. I'm learning about sites. If I look at all this great stuff Ward's done, or maybe some of this pattern language, or imported sites, or maybe in a few that haven't been published. You can see they're piling up down here, and this gives me a lot of place to look. And so now if I say pages, look at all this content I have, and it's not even done loading. It just goes on and on and on. So let's try that one more time. Pages. And so 860 sites. Before we looked in 464, so the last few were taking their time, and they're spread over 19 sites. Now, this quickly becomes overwhelming, and the Federation is small at the moment. But let me just go back to the beginning. When I click on that, it takes me back to the beginning, and so now I've got this kind of small world. And I'm going to show you what I would do to start contributing to the Federation by just organizing it for my own use. So I'll say, let's make a collection of my favorite sites. And let's say found my first day. So that's a nice little paragraph. This is what I'm going to do. It says, tell me who I am and what I'm going to do. I'm going to go look for sites. And you know what? There's not really much to look for yet, so I'm just going to start by hitting that, just loading up the help text, because that was useful. Then I'll call it my own page. It says I can't even find that, so let's just go ahead and create that. And it's kind of an empty page. But let's just try looking for sites again. And when I look for sites, oh, look at all this stuff. Where was that? Search for sites. Maybe what I'll do is I'll come over here and look at this list of sites and pattern languages. Pattern languages are important, and Ward does a lot with pattern languages. So now maybe something like pages. What do I find? Lots of good stuff about pages. Let's try something about coding. Coding. A little less about coding here. Let's just go back to where my own collection was, and I'll just say let's look for coding again. And coding tips, that sounds good. Let's put that on mine. Coding standards sounds boring. Coding portfolio. Okay. hands-on modeling. If I look over there, that's interesting. If I grab that, now I get into this situation where this is a little long, so I'm just going to edit that description to be a little shorter because this is my own wiki and I like it kind of short. Now, as I see this, maybe programming is a better word. Programming. So now I find all the 99 bottles of beer. Well, maybe that's not. Let's find something a little more colorful. Pair programming. That looks good. Well, let's try programming here. Pair programming. Add that. Test. Oh, Cunningham and Cunningham. Put that in the top. Mike Shapiro was the guy who taught me a lot about programming back in the old days. Shell programming with TextSign. You can't go wrong with that. So here I've made a collection of pages, which I call a collection of my favorite sites. Now if I go back to 0 again, I only have these original 2 sites. But the minute I click on my collection, notice that I am already in my own neighborhood of sites that I found useful. Not only that, I've published this collection just implicitly by being in the Federated Wiki, and someone who finds my site by maybe searching for sites can find the corner of the Federation that I found interesting, and that's how this all feeds into one another.